As Real Housewives of Orange County star Shannon Beador finally learns what her ex, John Janssen, is holding over her, she labels him a monster. On the most recent episode of RHOC, Shannon revealed that while the cast was enjoying a group trip to Napa Valley, she was facing a deadline from John about repaying a $75,000 loan. John and his now fiancée, Alexis Bellino, have been telling everyone but Shannon that if she does not repay the loan, they are going to release footage from the night of her DUI footage that, according to the duo, could ruin Shannon's life. Ahead of the deadline, she offered him half, which he denied, Shannon admitted through tears. "I just feel like it's extortion," Shannon said before noting he recently made a bundle after selling off his share of his insurance company. "What is most important to John is people think he's a good guy, and this is step one. Tried to make Shannon look bad, and he's really taking drastic steps." Later in the episode, Shannon went to a spa with Katie Janella, Emily Simpson, and Gina Kirschenheiter, and finally learned what fans had known for weeks. What was on the videos? When former lawyer Emily suggests she just pay John the money, Gina accidentally reveals that Alexis had incriminating footage from John's Ring camera. The footage allegedly shows Shannon coming close to running over John's daughter before she ran her car into the planter box of a Newport Beach home. "From the night of my DUI?" a visibly shaken Shannon asked. "What are the details? I don't even remember. You know what, you guys, I am working so f***ing hard on myself," she said. "He is trying to take me down. I'm so angry right now. He's a monster," she added through tears. The revelation made Shannon contact her lawyers and tell him to pay him whatever he wants. Following the episode, RHOC fans immediately took to social media to support Shannon. "I've never seen someone shake like this. I am going to war for Shannon Beador. This is insane," wrote one fan on X. Another shared, "It's absolutely heartbreaking to watch what she is going through. The fact that Bravo brought Alexis back and stood by as they extorted money from Shannon is disgusting. Bravo needs to clean house. If Shannon Beador has 1 million fans, I am one of them. If Shannon Beador has only one fan, that's me. If Shannon Beador has no fans, it's because I died. We must protect her at all costs," wrote a third. "Tell us, whose side are you on, Shannon or John? Do you think what he and Alexis were doing to her should be labeled as extortion? Sound off in the comments below." RHOC star Shannon Beador calls ex John Janssen a monster in the world of reality television, where drama, personal lives, and relationships are often served up for public consumption. It's not uncommon to hear about emotional breakups and turbulent romances. For Shannon Beador, one of the most prominent stars of the Real Housewives of Orange County, RHOC, the aftermath of her relationship with John Janssen has become headline news. What's different in this instance is the intensity of her words, particularly her labeling Janssen a monster, a term loaded with emotion and indicative of the deep scars their relationship has left on her. A rocky relationship. Shannon Beador, who joined RHOC in 2014, has been no stranger to emotional ups and downs on screen. Her marriage to David Beador, which ended in a messy divorce, played out in front of millions of viewers, offering a glimpse into Shannon's vulnerability and strength as she navigated the end of a long-term relationship. When Shannon began dating John Janssen in 2019, fans hoped she had found someone who would treat her with the love and respect she deserved after the turmoil with David. Initially, things seemed promising. John, a businessman with a relatively low profile compared to Shannon's RHOC fame, appeared to provide stability and comfort in her life. For a while, Shannon spoke glowingly of him on the show, sharing that they were in love and that John was a good match for her. However, as the years passed, cracks began to show in their relationship. What started as a love story quickly unraveled into something far darker, culminating in a breakup that Shannon would later describe as one of the most painful experiences of her life. The breakup in late 2022, Shannon and John officially ended their relationship. What made the split particularly devastating for Shannon was that, according to her, it came out of nowhere. She revealed in interviews that John had ended things after 3.5 years of dating, leaving her blindsided. For someone as emotionally open as Shannon, the abrupt nature of the breakup was a profound betrayal. She told People magazine in early 2023 that she was blindsided by the breakup, and that she didn't see it coming. According to Shannon, they had spent nearly 4 years building a life together, blending their families and imagining a future. For her, the end of their relationship wasn't just the loss of a romantic partner, but the collapse of everything she had been working towards. The depth of her pain became even more evident as she began to speak out more openly about the breakup. Shannon's heartbreak. I loved him in typical RHOC fashion. The breakup didn't stay behind closed doors. Shannon has always worn her heart on her sleeve, and in the months following the split, she became increasingly vocal about how much the relationship had meant to her and how much the breakup hurt. In various interviews, she shared that she had been deeply in love with John and had believed they were heading toward marriage. Their lives were intertwined, their families had grown close, and Shannon had even called John the love of her life on more than one occasion. But John's decision to end things, particularly with no warning, shattered her belief in what they had built. Shannon described herself as being in utter shock following the breakup. She admitted that she had poured everything into the relationship, believing that John felt the same way. The fact that he could walk away so easily after all they had been through left her questioning whether he had ever truly loved her, calling John a monster. While Shannon initially tried to handle the breakup with grace, things took a more explosive turn in mid-2023 when she publicly referred to John as a monster. This declaration surprised fans and sent shockwaves through the RHOC fanbase. To call someone a monster suggests an element of cruelty, and Shannon's use of the term indicated that there was more to the story than had initially been revealed. But why did Shannon feel this way? What had happened behind the scenes to provoke such a strong response from her in interviews? Shannon suggested that John's behavior during and after the breakup had been callous and emotionally abusive. She accused him of being manipulative, cold, and dismissive of her feelings. According to Shannon, John had not only broken her heart, but had done so in a way that showed a complete lack of empathy. She claimed that his actions following the breakup, including how he handled their mutual friends and the way he had seemingly moved on with his life, were particularly hurtful. Shannon shared that John had been emotionally checked out of the relationship long before he actually ended it, leaving her to feel like she was fighting for something that no longer existed. To Shannon, this emotional detachment and the way he ended the relationship without warning or closure were what made him a monster in her eyes. The fallout from Shannon's public accusation has been intense. Fans of RHOC, who had followed the relationship from its beginning, were divided. Some sided with Shannon, empathizing with her heartbreak and understanding how such a sudden, unexpected breakup could lead to feelings of betrayal and resentment. Others, however, questioned whether calling John a monster was too extreme, suggesting that perhaps Shannon was projecting her own insecurities and fears onto the situation. John, for his part, has remained relatively quiet about the breakup. While he hasn't publicly commented on Shannon's accusations, sources close to him have suggested that he was simply no longer happy in the relationship and felt it was time to move on. These sources claim that John wasn't trying to hurt Shannon, but was doing what he thought was best for both of them. A woman scorned or something more. As with many reality TV stars, it's difficult to separate the personal from the public. Shannon's life has been on display for so long that it's hard to know where the reality ends and the performance begins. Was her labeling of John as a monster simply the reaction of a woman scorned, or was there more to the relationship that viewers never saw? One thing is certain: Shannon Beador is no stranger to heartbreak, and this latest chapter in her love life has once again revealed the deep emotional struggles she faces when it comes to relationships. Whether or not John truly deserves the title of monster, the pain Shannon has expressed is very real. Moving forward in the wake of the breakup, Shannon has thrown herself into work and family life, as she often does when faced with adversity. She continues to film RHOC and has hinted that fans will get to see more of her personal journey in the upcoming season. For Shannon, this is just another chapter in a life full of ups and downs, and while the wounds from her relationship with John are still fresh, it's clear that she's determined to move forward. Only time will tell whether Shannon and John will ever find